Good morning, friends, and welcome to breath-controlled Vinyasa. As usual, it's a slow morning for me, so I'm just having my coffee, and that's a great beginning to breath work. Part of the benefit of this kind of stuff right away is before you start to get into thoughts about what you're going to do for the rest of the day, you go into your nervous system and condition your energy flow, which can affect the way you think about things for the rest of the day. It does help to have coffee in advance, but it's okay to drink coffee while you do this as well. So let's start up in a sitting position. Place your hands on your lap, close your eyes, and connect in with your natural breath. Relax your belly. Relax your shoulders. Relax your forehead. Relax your jaw. Relax the roof of the mouth. And through this state of letting go, notice the breath passing in and out through the nose. Notice how the body is feeling. And notice the area with more sensory receptors. Notice your hands and your feet. Any feeling of temperature, vibration. And then notice the inner breath, also known as the prana. So notice the expanding quality of the inhale. It radiates out to the sides, front to back. And notice the softening, grounding quality of the exhale. It flows down. And exhales are so good for letting go. So come back to softening the tension around the shoulders, face, forehead, jaw, roof of the mouth. And we'll start to make some gentle movement through the spine. So you can place your hands on your lap. And as you exhale, lean back, lifting the pubic bone, drop the tailbone. And as you inhale, slowly start to sit up, rolling up through the vertebra, lift the heart, and then the chin. Exhale, round your back, scoop the tailbone under. And then inhale, slowly rise up, sitting a little bit taller. And repeat that a few more times. And so notice that when you round your back, if you inhale from that position, you might be able to feel the breath moving into the back of the spine. And now the idea is to make these movements on the inhale and exhale smaller and smaller until we find a upright, neutral position to be still in. And then once you find a still point, notice your breath and see if you can feel the breath still flowing through the back of the spine, around the low back, lowest ribs. Maybe you can feel it laterally as well. So the diaphragm is still doing its job for belly breathing, but it also flows into the back and out to the sides. And now with your hands on your lap, straighten your arms and gently draw the arm bones back a little bit. And see if you can feel the rib cage lifting away from the pelvis. And for our next breathing exercise, we'll try to work with that position the whole time as we do a rapid exhale around the navel and just below it, and a passive inhale. So the inhale will take care of itself if we can relax the belly. The exhale, we have to focus on pushing the air out real quick. And this is called Kapalabhati, skull polishing breath. So before we start, take a normal breath in, normal breath out, and then take a small breath in and begin. So active exhale, passive inhale. And what's unique about this technique is the exhale is actually what lifts the heart a little bit more. Totally empty. Hold your breath. Lock your throat, swallowing the saliva, and gently pressing the tongue behind top teeth. Tensioning the core a little bit, take a breath in. Very gentle tension. And then soften some of that tension. Keep inhaling, filling up all the way to the heart. Top of inhale, hold your breath. And slow exhale. Again, slow inhale. So think of drawing the arm bones back and then try to rotate your shoulder in at the top of the inhale. Hold the breath. This is called a shoulder bandha. Just like we have our spinal bandhas in the low belly, pelvic floor, and throat. The shoulder bandha involves effort to retract the scapula while engaging the chest. Or you can think of that as retracting and abducting. That'll do the trick as well. But notice how my whole rib cage lifted up with that. And so that's what we can use to perform Uddiyana Bandha, which is the upward flying lock. It could be done on an inhale when you're back bending to lift your ribs, but it can also be done on an exhale, empty of air, and it can have the effect of creating this really weird shape in the belly, the abdominal vacuum. And so we'll try to find that shape in a variety of poses. So to do that, it's exhale, empty of air. Then unable to breathe, you try to lift the rib cage towards the chin. So in order to prevent breathing, we apply the throat lock, tongue behind top teeth. The other way of doing it is swallowing your saliva. And the third one is really cool, lion's breath. That way your tongue comes down and your chin drops down, so it helps you get a good lock in the throat. Kind of exhausting though, so I like to keep it a little bit more simple. So let's explore. Come into table position. Hands under knees, knees below hips. Take a breath in. As you exhale, sit back towards your heels, scooping the tailbone under, puppy dog. Inhale, come forward, table pose. Exhale, angry cat, totally empty of air. Hold the breath, lock your throat. Without breathing, downward dog. Relax your belly. Engage your chest. Lowering the knees, inhale. Exhale, sit back. And again. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round your back. Hold the breath. Press your hips back to down dog and relax the belly. Lock your throat. Imagine taking a fake breath in. This can create the abdominal vacuum. Engaging the core. Inhale back to table, knees down. Exhale, sit back towards your heels. And go ahead and try that a few more times at your own pace. And last one. And then we'll meet back in puppy dog. Sitting back towards the heels for a few breaths. Rest your head down and take some deep breath into your back. Release the effort. And inhale, come up. Bring the legs out in front. And we'll explore that same type of bandha lock in a bridge position. So you can lay onto your back, bending your knees. And so we'll start with the hands next to the hips. On a long inhale, lift the arms up to the sky and towards the back of the mat. Resisting gravity, slow the movement. Then exhale, return your arms down. Just moving with your breath for these first few. Inhale, lift the arms, keeping the elbows straight. Lift the rib cage to the chin, shoulders to the ears. And exhale, slowly come down. So that position is really going to help with Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale, lifting the ribs. And exhale, slowly return the arms down. And now we'll build on it. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. And then staying there, exhale to lift your hips up to bridge. Scoop the tail towards your knees. Totally empty, extra puff. Without breathing, lock your throat, relax your belly, and come down vertebra by vertebra. And as your hips come down, quickly lower your arms. Take a resting breath in. And resting breath out. Again, inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, scoop the tailbone forwards, lift the hips. End of exhale, extra puff. Totally empty, lock your throat. Try to create the vacuum. You can do that by trying to breathe in, even though it's impossible with the throat lock. And then keep the vacuum as you lower through the vertebra. Quickly lower your arms and take a breath in. And exhale. So do a few more rounds on your own. Last one. And we'll do another variation laying on the back. So for this one, I'm going to inhale to lift my arms overhead, just like we did before. But on the exhale, I'm actually going to bring my hands to the front of the thighs, near the hip flexors, totally empty. Hold the breath, tuck the chin, and then relaxing the belly, you're going to push the hands against the thighs. And then relax, take a resting breath. Let's do it together. Inhale, lift the arms, expand the ribs. Exhale, hands to thighs, close to the hip flexors. Extra puff, totally empty. Hold your breath, lock the throat. Relax the belly, and then push your hands against the thighs. And relax. One more round. And then take a resting breath. Hug your knees in towards you. Exhale. And then round your spine, rock up. And we'll come into a ragdoll position, taking your feet apart. You can open up to the side of your mat, take up lots of space. And take the feet like 4 feet apart, maybe wider if you wish. Bend your knees, hold on to opposite elbows, let your torso hang loose. Lean over one leg, straightening the opposite leg. And vice versa, going side to side. And then let go of your elbows, bend your knees, roll up to standing slowly. And then we'll bring the feet a little bit closer, still about wider than hip width. Turn your feet out, bend your knees. And we'll do another variation of the bandha, just like the one you did on your back when you pressed your hands into your thighs, but the standing version of it. So we'll bend the knees. I'll show you my belly. Take a breath in. And then exhale, fully empty, hands to the front of the thighs. Hold your breath, relax your belly. And then slowly stand up, take a breath in. And exhale, let's do it again. Take a breath in. And so exhale, just bend your knees a little bit. And then don't round forward too much, just enough that you can barely see your belly. Let your shoulders lift to your ears. Yeah, looks great, Jason. Try to suck the belly back and then let it go. And come up to standing. Resting breath in. It's hard to talk and do this. No time for coffee either. This is bogus. So let's do one more. For this next one, if you got the vacuum, you can now isolate the six-pack in the middle. Once it's in the middle, you can then make it dance side to side. And then come back to standing. Take a few resting breaths. Have a little sip of water if you need it. Bean water. Oh, that was a big swig. And then we'll meet at the top of the mat in mountain pose, Samastitihi. And so we don't really apply those full locks very often in our practice, but there are some places where we can do it. And so just so it's clear, this is called Uddiyana Kriya, this vacuum technique. Over top of that, we can think about tensing the throat a little bit, which it helps to tuck your chin to get that tension. But if you learn how to work with Ujjayi breathing really well, or with placing the tongue behind the top teeth, you can actually create the lock in any neck position. So let's explore the first movement of the sun salute, lifting the arms overhead. What's really great about this is that if we finish off with the hands together, this position of the arms encourages the chest to engage and the rib cage to lift. Kind of like when I was asking you to do this in a seated position. And it's really this puffing up is what we're looking to cultivate, kind of like a bodybuilder. So take a full breath in, full exhalation, extra puff, totally empty. Start to lift the arms and then inhale. Joining hands, look thumbs, hold your breath. Exhale, arms at sides. Totally empty. Suck in your low belly a little. And then inhale, lift the arms. Keep a gentle suction in below the navel. Exhale, arms at sides. And then we'll do the first 3 movements, half sun salute. This is where you'll be able to incorporate more of that Uddiyana Kriya, the vacuum. So inhale, lift the arms as we did. And then exhale, lead with the chin, bend your knees, take the hands to the floor or the back of the legs, and then look in. Without breathing, lift the heart, Uddiyana Kriya. Tension the core to breathe in now. Exhale, fold head to knees. Inhale, rise up, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, arms at sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift the arms. Hold the breath, lift your shoulders, engage your chest. Exhale, fold forwards, leaning back through the heels. Empty, bow the head in. Extra puff. Holding your breath, lift the heart halfway. Lock your throat, Uddiyana Kriya, suck in the belly. Tensing the core, inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms at sides. And full sun salute. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lead with the chin, fold forward. Empty, bow the head in. Extra puff. Holding the breath, lift the heart. Suck in the belly, Uddiyana Kriya, the vacuum. Tensioning the core now. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend the arms. Pelvis to the floor. Tuck your chin. Inhale to up dog. And then hold the breath. As you hold the breath, try lifting your chin, gazing down the nose. Down dog, exhale. Look to your navel, move from the core, and breathe. Try cultivating a softness in the belly in downward dog, just for the sake of Uddiyana Kriya. You can still keep a little suction inwards just above the pubic bone, and a little lift in the pelvic floor. On your next exhale, totally empty, hold your breath. Lock your throat, and then try to incorporate Uddiyana Kriya, the vacuum of the belly. Bracing the core, take a breath in. On a long exhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Look to your thumbs. Inhale, step forward. Half lift. Exhale, fold, bowing in. Without breathing, half lift. Inhale, spread the arms, come all the way up. Exhale, arms at sides. And repeat the same thing a few more times. Again, inhale slowly, hands together, look thumbs. Exhale, fold forwards. Empty, bow in. Hold your breath. Throat lock, vacuum, lift the heart. Bracing the core, inhale, plank. Hold your breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Lower the pelvis, tuck the chin. Up dog, inhale. Hold your breath. Gazing down the nose, explore lifting your chin. Down dog, exhale, moving from the core. And breathe. Then try pressing your heart to your feet in down dog, treating the pose more as a back bend, softening the belly, while still scooping the tailbone under. Notice the feeling of your breath. Maybe you can feel that breath flowing through the back of the spine again, sides of the belly and ribs. Imagine inhale is rising from the belly to the heart. So feel the internal movement of the prana. One more breath in. Exhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, raising the core. So we can either inhale slowly to step or jump. Slow breath in. Half lift, keep inhaling. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms at sides. Mountain pose, samastitihi. And again. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Bowing in. Holding the breath, half lift. Tension the core. Inhale, plank, or press up if you can. Inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Tucking the chin. Inhale to up dog, and then lift the chin. Exhale from the core, downward facing dog. And slow your breath. Long, slow ujjayi. So try tensioning the core a little more, drawing the front ribs in. In other words, bracing the core. And that's the kind of action that we would do if we were to float into a handstand or hop forward into a handstand. That bracing of drawing the ribs in, using the abs. One more breath. Long exhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, bracing the core. Inhale to jumper step. Save some gas for half lift. Exhale, fold in. Tuck your chin. Without breathing, half lift. Inhale to rise all the way up. Lift arms. Exhale, arms at sides. Mountain pose, samastitihi. And take a resting breath in. Exhale, hands forward, bend your knees. Inhale, sit a little taller, chair pose, Utkatasana. Look thumbs, hold your breath. Exhale, fold forward, straightening the legs. Look to your navel. Without breathing, half lift. Tension the core, inhaling to plank or lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Long exhale to down dog. Hold your breath as you step the right foot forward, back foot flat. Look to your navel. Inhale, roll up through the vertebra. And then lift your arms to warrior one. Exhale to chaturanga, low plank. Slow your breath, slow the movement. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, look at your navel. Hold your breath, back foot flat. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Warrior one. This is meant to be really hard. And exhale, chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale from the core, down dog. And find your breath. Breathing whatever way you feel called to. And we can treat down dog as a recovery position between those more challenging movements where we're holding the breath and cultivating bandha, slowing the breath. Next, exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, core braced. Inhale, jump. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Keep exhaling, bend your knees. Inhale, lift the arms overhead, chair pose. Exhale, standing tall, mountain pose, samastitihi. And resting breath in, hands together. Exhale, bend your knees and arms forward. Inhale, lift the arms, chair pose. Look thumbs. Exhale, fold forward. Look navel. Without breathing, lift the heart. Bracing the core, inhale to press up. Exhale, bend the arms, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, look navel and down dog. Right foot forward, back foot flat. Tuck your chin. Heavy tail, roll up on the inhale, vertebra by vertebra. And then lift the arms. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward. Tuck the chin. Roll up with a heavy tail. Inhale. And then lift the arms. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And hold the posture again. It's our last hold. And you might explore expanding the chest towards the chin again. So the traditional Ashtanga dog is more round back, look navel. Whereas the Iyengar one is a bit more of a back bend, heart towards the feet. But the tricky part is very hard to see. It's this subtle scooping under of the tail, drawing in of the low belly. Working with the pelvic floor, the abdominals a little bit, as well as the hip extensors like the buttocks, hamstrings. Strong in the upper back. One more breath. And exhale, lift the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, jump. Save gas to look up. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, standing tall, Samastitihi. Inhale, separate the feet hip width, lift your chin and hook your big toes. Padangusthasana. Exhale, fold, bowing the head in. Again, inhale, roll up through your spine halfway, lift the chin. Exhale, pause here, keeping the heart lifted, chin tucked. And we'll take a few breaths. You can think of lengthening out through the crown of the head with a slight tuck of the chin. Trying to draw the rib cage away from the pelvis, creating space. In other words, it's Uddiyana Bandha. Shoulder blades spreading and lifting to the ears is key. And you're welcome to apply Uddiyana Kriya, the vacuum again. So you can take an exhale to look navel. Hold the breath, lock the throat. Tension the core to breathe in. So that's a great way of training the same core that's used for handstand. And then exhale, fold forward when you get a chance. And we'll take a few breaths, just hanging out, breathing naturally. Recover in the asana. Slow, smooth, ujjayi, ocean breath. One more breath. Follow your exhale all the way out. And without breathing, lift the heart halfway. Tension the core, inhale. And exhale, step on the palms of the hands, Padahastasana. Without breathing, lift the heart. Bracing the core, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bowing in. And breathe. Toes spreading, quadriceps active. 3 more breaths. And full exhale, tuck the chin. Without breathing, lift the heart halfway. Tension the core, inhale. And then exhaling, hands to waist, come all the way up to standing. Samastitihi. And we'll open to the side, taking the feet about 3 feet apart. Inhale. Hold the breath, right foot out, left toes in. Exhale, Trikonasana triangle. Breathing as slowly and steadily as you can in the posture. Gaze to your top thumb. And we can always think of these poses that we're holding as recovery positions between breath retentions. Follow your next exhale all the way out. Slow inhale to rise up to center, parallel feet. Hold the breath as you change, left foot out, right toes in a little. Exhale, nice and slow, reaching down for left shin or big toe. Gaze to top thumb and breathe naturally. Find your own comfortable rhythm. Long exhalation. On your next inhale, come all the way up, nice and slow. Hold the breath at the top. Right foot out, left foot steps in, another 45 degrees, revolve triangle. Twist on the exhale. Left hand comes down to the shin or the floor next to the foot. Look to either hand. And breathe naturally. Left side of the core extra strong. Next exhale, look down. Long inhale to come up. Turn to the other side, holding your breath. Drop the right heel back. Exhale, twist, right hand comes across. And breathe. And next exhale, look down. Slow inhale to come up. Turn to the side. Exhale, mountain pose, feet together. Again, long inhale, opening to the side. Extended side angle. Right foot out, left toes in. Exhale, place your right hand on the floor next to your foot and look to your top thumb, reaching long through the left arm. Back foot flat. From that rooting, explore bending your front knee more and more. The bigger the bend, the harder the pose. And breathe deep. Control your breath. Gaze to the top thumb. On your next inhale, come up. From parallel feet, left foot out, right heel back. And exhale, entering the posture. Gazing top thumb. Next inhale, come all the way up, parallel feet. Hands to the waist, exhale, turn the toes in, wide-legged fold A. So with straight legs, inhale to lift the shoulders, lift the heart, and then the chin. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor, look towards your navel. Inhale, lift the ribs, spread the shoulder blades and look up. And exhale, pause in this position, tensioning the core, drawing the heart forwards, hands back. Feel the strength of your legs. And then go ahead and fold on your exhale. Option to walk the hands back underneath your elbows, bringing the head closer to the floor. So you can press your hands towards each other to activate the chest. You can also squeeze the elbows towards each other. And this creates another shoulder bandha. Really good for inversions, but it also applies to the breath. Next inhalation, lift the heart halfway, take the hands forward. Exhale, pause there. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. So we'll do the B variation now. Spread the arms on an inhale. Then as you exhale, bring the hands just outside of the navel a few inches, and then down an inch or so. So these are your psoas buttons. And that's where we're trying to create this little suction inwards below the navel. So you're going to press into the buttons, breathe above them, lift the heart, lift the chin. And exhale, folding. Keep pressing the buttons. Open your chest up. And breathe. Get nice and steady in the legs, steady in the breath. And then option to exhale, totally empty, and hold the breath. Lock the throat. And explore Uddiyana Kriya, the abdominal vacuum. Once you have the vacuum, look to your navel and see if you can feel the six-pack contracting. And then take a few recovery breaths, breathing into a braced core. And one more breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, turn your right foot out to the front of the mat and lower your left knee down. You may have to reorient yourself on your mat. We'll meet in a low lunge position. So you could have your knee over your ankle. If it goes past the ankle, totally fine. Okay, so we'll start by inhaling to open the arms out to the sides, bend the front knee. Exhale, reverse the bend, forearms together. Again, inhale, open the arms. And exhale, reverse the bend, forearms together. A few more vinyasas like that. Good, last one. So inhale, open up the same way. So option 2 for the exhale is a bit more challenging. Wrap the right arm underneath the left arm for eagle arms. You can modify with forearms together. And then hold the posture. So think of lifting the pubic bone. And then lift the arms as much as you can. Take a breath in. Full exhalation. Totally empty. Hold the breath. Lock your throat. Lift the arms higher. Try to incorporate the full vacuum of the belly. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. A few more recovery breaths there. Once you're breathing naturally, feel free to explore more of a back bend. And with an exhale, draw the elbows into the belly. And then we'll lean back for half split. Option 2 is half hero or crunchasana. Left foot on the floor outside of the hip for this variation. You can take hold of the right foot. I recommend sitting upright instead of folding forward. And so you can start with the knee bent. Lift your heart, see how much you can straighten the leg. If you found that quite easy, start to push out through the ball of the foot, suck in the low belly, and lift your ribs. And breathe. The first form of the pose is really finding your neutral spine or axial extension with a little suction inwards below the navel and the lift of the ribs. The next phase of the pose is actually bowing towards the leg, which is similar to the way we brace the core to do a handstand. So the ribs move in and we bow towards the leg while also drawing the leg in towards the head. 3 more breaths. And inhale, lift the heart to neutral. Exhale, hands down. If you have space behind you, which I certainly don't, you can try lifting into a half handstand. So I'm going to move myself forward a little bit to demonstrate. See what I got today. You never know. So we start with the right leg up. Hands are just a little bit forward of the hips so we can lean into it like that. So I'm going to pick up my left knee, swing my right foot under my knee. And the trick is actually using an inhale at the moment of liftoff. So it looks like this. Right foot under left knee, inhale. Exhale. So you can try that a few times. Inhale, right foot under knee. Exhale. Yeah, and we try to keep the left toenails on the floor the whole time. Inhale. Exhale. Whew, that were tough. So one more. Turn it into a vinyasa this time. We'll meet in chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward to lunge, right knee down. And then set it up. You could have your knee past your ankle for the inhale movement. Knee over the ankle for the exhale. So inhale to open your arms, bend the front knee like a squat. And then exhale, lift the pubic bone, forearms together. And repeat, moving on your breath. Inhale, open up. Exhale, tailbone scoops under. And continue. Last one. So exhale, left arm underneath the right for eagle arms. Take a breath in. Full exhalation. Holding the breath, lift the elbows. Uddiyana Kriya. Suck in the belly, lift the heart. Tension the core to breathe in. And take a few recovery breaths. Exhale to pull the elbows into the belly, and then half split or Crunchasana, half hero. You can slide forward on the mat a little bit, so there's lots of room behind you. Right foot is on the floor outside of the buttock. And then lean back, hold the left foot. Start with your knee bent, and then attempt to straighten the leg up. Great place to stay. And so part of the work is pulling back on the foot. And then the other part of the work is letting the shoulder blades lift up. Great place to stay. Focus on Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, the little scooping in below the navel that's working with the lift of the pelvic floor. If you are feeling quite loose, option to bow towards the knee, bracing the core. Bringing in more of the apana action, the abdominal core, bringing the front ribs in. Oh, am I ever stiff today? Must have eaten something weird. And then inhale, relift the heart to neutral. Exhale, hands forward to the hips. So we curl forward at the spine, flexion. Pick up your right knee and try to swing your left foot underneath it. Inhale. Exhale, sitting. Try that a few more times. Inhale. Exhale, sitting. The action in the right foot, it's kind of like picking up a towel in that back foot. And last one, full vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale from the core, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lay down onto the belly. Bring your arms by your sides, locust pose, legs together. It's a really great exercise for training the bandha. So on the inhale, we're going to lift the legs, lift the shoulders away from the floor, and breathe. Retract your shoulder blades a little. Then start to drag the hands closer to the shoulders, allowing the elbows to go out to the sides a little. Shoulder abduction. And keep breathing. Keep lifting the heart. Press the fingernails down. And exhale, come down. And we'll take the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Pull back with your forearm to lift the heart. Lengthen the belly. With an exhale, reach for the inside of your left foot. So you can either kick back and lift the knee. If you have the flexibility for hero, you can try pushing your foot towards your armpit. But keep the focus on the pulling back action of the right forearm to help lift and open the chest, cultivating Uddiyana Bandha and the shoulder bandha. Exhale to let go. Left forearm to the floor. Inhale, pull back with the forearm. Exhale, right hand reaching for the inner foot. And remember your options there. Keep using your left forearm to lift the heart. Exhale to let go. Bend both knees, heels together. Knees apart. And then we'll bring the ribs fully to the ground, heart to the ground. With an inhale, lift the arms away from the floor, lift the knees. Exhale, lower. And repeat that twice more. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and hold the breath for a little while. Let's try to hold for 5 counts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale down. Take a resting breath. Full bow pose. Inhale, lift everything up again. Now on your exhale, swing back for the outsides of your feet. Slowly inhale, lift the knees, lift the heart. Breathing slowly. And exhale down. Sit back onto your heels. And then we'll bring the knees forward, setting up for camel pose. So feet are parallel. Press all the toenails down. And then the action we focus on again is Uddiyana Bandha. So you can imagine doing a pull-up. So if you bring your arms sort of forward and up, take an exhale breath, and then inhale, pull back. Puff up your chest. That's really the action. So exhale, take the arms forward. Inhale, pull up. Good. Exhale, arms forward. Tension the core as you lean back. Inhale, pull up, lift the heart. Exhale, you can reach forward or upwards. Both ways work. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, forwards. Inhale, pull up. And hold. Keep that action in the spine. You can bring your hands outside of your sacrum. And then as you exhale, tension the core, moving back in space. Inhale, come up. And repeat that. Exhale, tension the core. Inhale, come up. A few more to go. And then we'll all meet up at the top. Good. Bring your legs out in front. And we'll lay down for bridge or full wheel. And I invite you to incorporate brief breath retention into the way you enter your full wheel. I find it really helpful for connecting with the pelvic floor and low back. So either way, we'll set up the same with the feet a little wider than hip width, a few inches in front of the sit bones. And then if you're doing full wheel, you can take a breath in to lift the arms. And then exhale, place the hands underneath your shoulders. Hold your breath, lift your hips. Inhale to press up, all the way, full wheel. And regulate your breath. Slow your breathing. Try to remember that pull back action of camel. Just like doing a pull up. Pulling the heart through the arms. And exhale, touch the head down. Walk the hands closer to the feet. And on your next inhale, press up. Breathing into a gently tensed core. And last one. Exhale, touch the head down. Option to walk the hands towards the feet more. Elbows in. Inhale, press up. Gazing between hands. Exhale all the way down. Take a moment to lay on your back and simply feel the residue. Notice how that felt in the body. Try not to move anything. Take a few moments for stillness, feeling. Noticing the beat of the heart. Noticing any temperature changes. Maybe there's more heat in the body. And then spreading the arms, windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then bringing both knees towards the left side. Left ankle on the outside of the right thigh. Hang out there. With an inhale, reach your right arm back by the ear. Lift the shoulder to the ear. And then take a full exhale breath. Totally empty. Hold the breath, abdominal vacuum. Tension the core to breathe in. And once more on that side, full exhale, extra puff. Hold the breath, lock the throat, suck back the stomach. Use your ankle to press the right thigh to the floor. Tension the core to breathe in. Back to center. Exhale, knees to the right side. Keep the feet as wide as the mat. And then place the right ankle on the outside of that left thigh. On your next inhale, left arm reaches back. Exhale, fully empty. Hold the breath, lock the throat, vacuum. Using the right ankle to press the left thigh down. Tension the core, inhaling. And again, exhale, full vacuum. Hold and empty. Tension the core, inhale. And back to center, exhale. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. And so you have options. You could hang out holding the back of your legs, pulling them in towards you. Or you can move into this variation of plow pose, lifting the arms overhead on an inhale, legs together. Exhale, moving vertebra by vertebra, bring the feet towards the hands, nice and slow. And breathe. Try gripping your big toes. Take some deep breath into your back. And we'll rock up. So use your exhale pattern to round your back. Inhale, rock up. Bouncing on the back of the sitting bones, lift the heart. Uddiyana Bandha, scooping in the low belly, lifting the ribs. Pull back, spread the shoulder blades and breathe. This is one of Krishnamacharya's favorite grouping of postures to help really connect in with the bandhas. Good. And then looking forward, let go. Bring the feet together, heels near the pelvis, bound angle Baddha Konasana. Opening the feet like a book. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lift the heart, lower the chin, and breathe. Sucking in the low belly, take a breath in, lift the heart, and then look up. Exhale, fold forwards. and breathe. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, take the right foot to inner thigh for Janu Shirshasana, 90 degrees between these. And then with an inhale breath, lift the ribs, lift the heart, holding your left foot. Exhale, sit up even taller, but lower the chin down. And take a few breaths from that position. So we're lifting the heart, pulling back on the top of the foot. And try to fill the back body with air with each inhale. All the while sucking in below the navel. And exhale, head to knee, fold over. And take a few breaths, rounding your back. Pulling back on the foot, hug the elbows in. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, slightly lower the chin, fully empty. And just hold the breath. No need to do any kind of vacuum. Just hold your breath empty of air. Create a very gentle suction inwards, just above the pubic bone. A little lift of the pelvic floor. Inhale, come up. And switch sides. Exhale, left foot to inner thigh. Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, catch the top of the right foot. Lift the heart and ribs as much as you can. Exhale, lower the chin. And take a few breaths in this lifted position. Play with the shoulder position. You can have them up or down. If you can anchor the shoulder blades against the back of the ribs, then potentially lifting the shoulder blades can help you also lift the heart. So this deepens that connection to the low belly pelvic floor, the before and after muscle. And exhale, head to knee, take a few breaths, hugging the elbows in. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, lower the chin. Follow the breath all the way out. And hold the breath. Relax the belly. Lock the throat. Slow breath in. And long breath out. Come to a comfortable sitting position. Maybe it's one foot in front of the other. Maybe it's lotus. I see that we're at time now, so we'll end with a really simple pranayama technique. 3 long ohms. So sitting tall, bring your hands together. Long breath in. Take a moment to feel the residue. Relax the face and the shoulders. And thank you very much. Thanks so much for practicing. Thanks for sticking it out. It's a lot of breathing.